People of this universe and every other universe, you have tuned in to the podcast of the Catholic priests of Stillwater, Oklahoma. This is the Pastors of Pain show here on Pete FM. It goes, it goes live. Well, not really live. It goes on the air every Sunday right after Mass. And then it also or before Mass or Jay tells me, correcting me, he's like 9:30. It's before Mass. Jay knows what time Mass is. And then it goes on Catholic radio every Wednesday at 3:30, right after the Chaplet of Divine Mercy, for the sake of His sorrowful passion, and then us. So this is Pastors of Pain show. We've been doing this. I don't know, Father O'Brien. How many years have we been doing this?
I'm not Father O'Brien.
Oh. Well, okay. So everybody, this summer, we have we're inundated. We're inundated with men studying to be priests. They just keep showing up in droves into the rectory. So we got. I think we're gonna have 3 here this summer, Robert. Yep. And so in the studio today, Father O'Brien is not here. So we got this.
We've got a priestly wannabe.
I wanted to introduce him as Father Robert Williams, but dude, you still got
not yet.
And also we have
secret
guests in the show that we're not going to tell Father Brian O'Brien about because he would probably show up from Kansas City at his conference and give him the throw out, right, girls?
Right.
Okay, so today we have this sort of like idea. We're crammed into this radio station here. There's 4 of us around 2 microphones, and Jay's kind of like just rolling his eyes at us. Anywho, so the goal today is to talk about something really, I think, vital to our culture today. So necessary in our culture that I don't think we could actually live without it. I don't think we could live without. And COVID, the idea of social distancing, which I didn't like the phrase social distancing from the beginning because you don't get that. You don't get the socialization that human beings need. Stay away from me and don't cough on me and don't cough in your hand and then wipe it on my hand. But why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Jay, maybe I can't. Jay told me one time I can only sing a certain amount before he gets copyrighted, and we all get fired. Robert, why do you think friendship is so important?
Well, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is we're made in God's image and likeness, and He is persons. He's 3 persons in one, in perfect relationship, or you could say friendship with Himself and the other persons of the Trinity. So if we're made in His image and likeness, then naturally as persons made in the image and likeness of the persons of God, then friendship is going to be essential, an identity-defining fact of man. Okay,
but what if you're not a Christian or a Judeo-Christian world? You don't live in that. Tell the good people of God who maybe just not even religious, why friendship on the natural level?
Well, I mean, regardless of whether you believe in God or not, I think it still is going to be this case that you have to live by His rules, sort of. Like, if God made the world, even if you didn't believe in Him, then you still are going to be living in the world. And so naturally, even on a human level, because we are made in time and space and made by God in this world, we are going to need and crave and hunger for incarnate, real friendships and relationships, because that's what we're made for. We're made for meaningful, deep relationship.
I would see. This is where I push back at you. I actually literally did push him because he's like a half a foot away from.
It's a good thing these chairs have wheels.
I know. I would even say at the submolecular level, your DNA comes in pairs. From the very down to these chromosomes and everything works in pairs. Yeah. You could say in the scriptures, they say, don't go out alone. Right. Jesus doesn't send anybody out as loners, but He sends them out as pairs, even the Ark of the Covenant.
That's
the Ark of Noah.
That's true. I mean, even on a metaphysical level, like you learn in metaphysics, we learn in metaphysics, a principle fundamental of any being is that it isn't everything else that it isn't. So it sounds kind of repetitive, but it's true that if there is a being, it's not all that it isn't. So it is inherently in relationship to everything that it's not. So as soon as something exists, it necessarily is communicating itself to everything it isn't. So any individual thing, any individual being that is, naturally communicates itself as true or good to other being. So I think even on a metaphysical level, any human person is metaphysically determined towards relationship.
That's what I'm talking about. See, like
Seminary's working. It's sticking. You know, there's a couple things I'm learning.
yeah, like most people when they start off with the scriptures, God, quote God, I think people in our culture just write them off. But there's this necessary connection with the other to have the air quote friendship with the other because they're drawn to it like metal fillings to a magnet. These opposites attract. Even in the stars, like our galaxy is 3.5 billion years old. And how do things get together? Well, they join. They can join together, and there's a necessity for this.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. No comment.
No comment. No comment.
Mic
Well,
drop.
okay. So the reason why I brought these two gumshoes, gumshoe. I think that's from. I just pulled that out of Carmen Sandiego somewhere. Well, I brought these two gumshoes along.
You're aging yourself, dating yourself.
I'm dating myself. I am celibate. I do take myself out for dinner occasionally.
Carmen Sandiego. Right?
Yes. So anyway, the reason why we brought these two gumshoes along over here is they are friends. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to get...
I actually don't think I've ever seen them alone, like separate. I've only seen them hanging out together. That's how good of friends they are. They're always hanging out. They're watching sunsets in the parking lot. They just come by every time together. They're yoked.
They are yoked, and they're always knocking on the rectory door,
Get out. No.
poor people, can we hang out with you all?
No.
Or they're playing tennis in the parking lot of St. Francis Xavier, or they're watching the sunset, something along those lines. Yeah. Okay. So Gretchen and Alycia, I'm having trouble saying your name because I don't call you Alycia. So. Tell me how the two of y'all became friends. Because you all are really good friends and you're very different. So tell us how y'all became friends.
So I started college in the fall of 2018.
College where?
At Oklahoma State University.
What? Go Pokes.
Pokes.
Okay. You started college when? What year?
2018.
And when did you graduate?
2021.
And what are you now?
I'm a master's student.
And how old are you?
20 years old.
Booyah! Okay, I just want to throw that in there.
So
okay, hit it, Gretchen.
When I started college in the fall of 2018, I didn't have a big friend group until the end of freshman year. They lived on the same floor as me in my dorm, and they were involved at St. John's. So the transition was super easy to get involved at St. John's. I was blessed to go on a mission trip to Peru, which helped me.
Whoa, really? Was it the same mission trip with me? Come on, I think it was. Weren't we on the same mission trip?
It helped me dive into the community and develop a relationship with Father Kerry. That trip was a big push into my faith and encouraged me to get confirmed in 2019, which prior to that trip, I had never been to adoration before.
You've never been to Eucharistic adoration ever?
Yeah.
Wait, did you grow up Catholic?
Yes.
You grew up Catholic?
Yes.
Wow.
Ask her where she grew up Catholic.
Where'd you grow up Catholic?
In Chicago.
Chicago.
What kind of English speaking parish, Polish parish? Tell us.
We bounced around.
Whoa. Okay, well continue.
That trip was a big push and encouraged me to dive deeper. I clearly remember praying about friends and wanting to have a support system in Stillwater, but that didn't come until the evening of my sophomore year. I was walking into St. John's from the library and heard my name being screamed.
Screamed? By who? By who?
Father Kerry's lungs.
Whoa.
And then
did you say out of Father Kerry's love or out of
lungs.
his lungs?
Lungs.
The difference is subtle, but it is there. Yeah, significant.
Subtle but significant.
Go ahead, Gretchen. Keep
What was he yelling at you about?
Keep reading from your notes over there, your script. Go ahead. We love it. We love this.
Then he introduced me to Alycia.
What? Really?
Yes.
That's not what happened.
Who's Alycia? Where are you from?
She's from Maryland.
Oh, really?
She speaks in the third person.
Oh, whatever.
Okay, Elise, this is what I love about the friendship with these girls. I almost called you Reverend Robert. Is like they're just a joy to be around, and they're totally different. Like, Gretchen doesn't get in front of any place to speak without a script in her hand, and it's brilliant. That's why she's a grad student.
Prepared.
She plays to her strength.
She plays her strength. Like, okay. So, Alycia, hit it. Tell us how you became friends.
Well, I started college fall of 2019, and I wanted to get confirmed, so I went to St. Francis, where
What? Whoa. You were cheating on us.
Yes, I was.
You
Before I even knew you.
You went to St. Francis Xavier to receive the sacrament of confirmation.
Yes, I did, where I met Father O'Brien,
Ooh, boo. No one likes him.
and he sent me to St. John,
Yes, everybody loves him.
where I walked into Father Kerry's office, and that's when he introduced me to Gretchen. And then that's who I chose to actually be my godmother and where our friendship
What?
began, I feel like. Yeah. And we started to read The Imitation of Christ.
What? Really?
Yes, and you gave it to us.
I
Do you not remember that?
Oh, if y'all have never read The Imitation of Christ, I highly encourage. Gretchen is giving a nod of affirmation, right? Okay.
Yes, it's a very good book.
So you all, like, Gretchen got confirmed in 2019, and then Alycia last year. And what made you choose her as your godmother? Alycia, hit it. Tell us why.
Because she taught me.
You got to speak into the mic.
These kids are newbies to the old radio show. Okay.
Well, she's actually the one that taught me, like, there's different ways to praying.
Well, go on, please. Tell us more.
Okay, so according to Matthew 6:7, when you pray, do not go on babbling endlessly as the pagans do.
Whoa.
So
Gretchen just retweeted that. She's like, retweet. Okay. So how did that help you?
I guess, like, because, like, everyone, like, they have different, like, everyone prays different. Like, I, like, pray, like, when I'm on a walk. Like, some people sit in the chapel for, like, a couple hours praying. And, like, she taught me, like, that was fine and it's normal to do that because everyone has, like, different intentions.
Whoa. Okay. So then your friendship started there. Then where did it, like, how did it get to, Robert walking in the front door of the rectory and saying, there are two girls playing tennis in the parking lot of the church, and they watch the sunset there every night. And I was like, how did it get to that? Come on, lay it out to us, Gretchen.
So I would go to St. John's in the morning of my sophomore year and pray when no one else was there. And I would make coffee.
Ooh,
and
yeah.
Father Kerry would walk in and be like, who is in here making coffee with the lights on? And that was me. He showed me Matthew 6:6, which starts off with, but when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen.
Oh, I showed you that?
Yes.
What? Really?
And that
I don't
was
remember.
because I was very caught up in a busy day and, like, had to slow down and learn how to pray throughout my day because I didn't have structured time to sit in the chapel for an hour. And while learning how to pray myself from deepening my faith my freshman year, it was very challenging to teach somebody how to pray. And so there was a big learning curve on, like, harvesting my own faith and helping Alycia as much as I could. So the weekend prior to spring break in 2020, Alycia and I went to Texas to visit my family who had moved there in October of 2020.
Oh, that's right. Your mom and dad, like, made the pilgrimage and said, we're getting out of Chicago.
Yes.
Boo. We hate the Cubs. We're moving to Texas. We
No,
love the Rangers.
We love the Cubs. We structured a trip sort of as a confirmation retreat prior to that Easter, which ended up being canceled due to COVID. And it strengthened our bond and friendship throughout that weekend. And then a week later, everything was shut down.
Whoa.
So,
Wow, okay.
So when Alycia was being confirmed, we continued to grow our faith together through quarantine, calling each other, FaceTiming each other, and like reading the Bible and books that we both have from Father Kerry, because he hands everybody free books at St. John's. So even today, as Robert had mentioned prior, every night we watch the sunset and play games like tennis and football and just recap our days and talk about how our prayer life is going and more. Cue flip page.
Flip page.
It helps us because we push each other to be good citizens and friends to anybody we encounter, no matter how frustrating they are. Father Kerry recording the podcast.
Whoa. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Why did you say frustrating and then you turned quickly and smacked your head over in my general direction?
Because we practice and you're interrupting.
Wait, dude, you can act.
Robert kicked us off the sidewalk this morning.
So not
The sidewalk where?
At St. Francis.
I told them, I said, they were sitting there after Mass and adoration, and they were like sitting on the sidewalk practicing. I said, hey, sidewalks aren't for sitting, are they? They're for walking.
He put a lot of pressure on us. We had 12 hours to prepare for this.
I know. I didn't want you to have to think about it too much because it's the
We
shortest
thought about
podcast in Payne County history. It's only 29 and a third minutes.
So by keeping each other
She
accountable.
got right back on it. She like lifted her eyes off the page to scowl at me and then went right back.
So by keeping each other accountable, we grow in our faith together and strive towards sanctity.
Okay, Alycia, what you want to add to anything to that?
So during the Bible, during the daily readings we do on the Bible over COVID, she showed me the prodigal son, which is one of the reasons I chose her to be my confirmation sponsor, was because no matter how many times I fall, she'll always be there to guide me back and with open arms. And that's when I got confirmed July 2020.
That's awesome. I would be curious to hear from your guys' perspective the difference between your guys' friendship and maybe previous friendships you had, like other friendships, even especially before you came to faith, and what did you notice were big differences between your experience of being friends now and maybe people you were friends with in high school or your first year of college?
So in high school, I knew I was Catholic but didn't understand anything, and I would always ask my mom, are we Christian or are we Catholic? Not knowing the difference. And she kind of guided me into, you be friends with everybody because you never know what they're going through at home. And I couldn't talk to my friends about faith, and I was lost and everything during my senior year of high school. And that pushed me to come to OSU. And I was like, I need to get out and move, do my own thing. So when I came to OSU, I was searching and I found friends, but my friends that I'm roommates with today, they're amazing and they're the same age, but they had a very structured faith already where I was starting from square one. And meeting Alycia and bringing her into the faith, it only pushed me more because it was almost of a little sister kind of person of, if I did something bad, it almost gives her permission to do it, which guiding together and walking through the faith and learning together, I feel like I have to sound super smart, but majority of the time I learn it 5 minutes before she comes in to the chapel.
As every good teacher, they're like, I
just learned this.
Yeah.
I just learned this. So, but it's when I read a good book or read a good quote in a book or passages, I'm always reading in the chapel because that's how I find connections the best. And I'll show her and she just gets absolutely blown away. And that transformation and that clicking in her brain, it just makes it so much more exciting, and we want to continue talking about it.
Whoa, that's really beautiful. Because you're studying ag finance, Gretchen.
Agribusiness.
Agribusiness, and Alycia, you're studying
Psychology with a minor in social justice.
Okay. Whoa. Oh, those are different. And you all are very fashionably different, too.
Thank you. For sure. I take pride in that.
Yes. Gretchen is shops. And Alycia, I'm not sure you shop with the same ferociousness that Gretchen does.
No, not at all.
I'm particular. Very particular.
Yeah. You stayed in the same home in Chicago for almost all your life, and you're a military brat who bounced around. Yes or no?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the beauty of friendship that, when we were talking about this, we actually came up with this idea in Brahms yesterday. Brahms on 6th Street. We were just talking about, like, Robert and I were talking about, like, what we're going to talk about in the podcast today. And we actually wanted to get to the natural life of friends with God. Like, some people, their idea of, like, God and a friendship with God is, oh, I'm friends with God on Sunday or at church or during my time of prayer. Well, what y'all just talked about is how you incorporate your friendship with each other throughout the length of the day, throughout the whole day. That you read something and you want to share it with each other, and it's not like, oh, I think about this friend only when I'm with them. No, I think about this friend a lot. Like, I run into something really great or beautiful and I want to share it with them. Right? Would you agree or disagree?
I agree. I was actually watching an Ascension Presents YouTube video the other day, and Father Mike Schmidt said, why ask God to be with you in a church rather than saying, God, come do something with me and come feed the dogs with me or come to the grocery store with me. And that's something, because I have a hard time I'm very structured, but I have a hard time following that structure when I have things to do. And so I know if I have to get certain things like going grocery shopping or doing laundry, I don't have an hour to sit in the chapel. So I invite God to come with me and to do those things, and I pray throughout them, which helps Alycia because she's very busy as well in her own way. And we find that time like watching the sunset, and that's when we recap the day. But throughout the day, we're continuously praying and continuously thinking, walking to class, being like, oh, wow, that bird is gorgeous, walking, or like, wow, look at the tree. The flowers. Alycia is a big flower person. So flowers, or I'm like, wow, that's a beautiful outfit that person's wearing. And it just is, the shoes, peep the shoe. That's the stuff that I find enjoyment rather than sitting in one place, because I can't not move for.
But what you're saying is it's both and. That you have this life of prayer where you go spend time. Like, I see your car now that St. John is closed down and they're demoing it. I know, sad day, teardrops.
Building Saints.
And we haven't really got everything running over at Old St. Francis for student mass. Y'all go over to St. Francis Xavier and your car's parked out front. And so you have this time of prayer, of spending it with Jesus in the Holy Eucharist. And then you let that sort of like resonate in your life and what you do throughout the rest of the day. You're nodding your head, but you have to say yes. Because the good people of God and other galaxies do not know what's going on in the studio right now. Alycia, okay, elaborate on what Gretchen said. This is what the life of not only friendship with human beings is, as Robert said, metaphysically, like way down there deep, boom. Also, just that's the life of God too. That's your friendship with God.
Yes. I would say like when I was growing up, like, I mean, I knew I was Catholic because like I was born like cradle Catholic, but I wouldn't practice until like I knew in high school I wanted to get confirmed. And I was choosing actually between two colleges, George Mason University, which in Virginia, to study forensics.
Whoa.
And then OSU for like psychology. And the main reason I chose OSU is because
Gretchen?
Oh yeah. I knew Gretchen before, guys, actually. was because I saw St. Francis church.
Head shakes of sadness.
Shout out, Father O'Brien.
Yeah, we love you.
Go ahead. So
And
you
Father
saw St.
Doug.
Francis Xavier and what? Beauty attracts. This is why
That
we're
is
building a new
so
church.
true. Beauty attracts. And I was deciding, like, ooh, do I want to go towards where my dad lives or, like, go somewhere where no one is and, like, learn my own path, like, build it and, like, be able to, like, be my own person and grow into the person I am today. And I said, okay, OSU, looks like I'm going there. And then so I have one of my friends, like, I grew up, like, with a bunch of Mormons.
Whoa.
Okay.
So, like, all my best friends, Mormon. And so, like, I would go with them to church because I was, like, interested. But, like, I knew I was Catholic. And everything about that. So when I came here, I started going with my friend to the Mormon church down here. It's, like, I forgot what it's called.
Saint what? Saint Lauderdale? Did you just like?
I mind blanked.
Did you say Saint Lauderdale? Because I think that's Estee Lauder, and somebody lauded it, Tara Lauderdale, and then you sort of like hybrid.
Estee Lauder's a cosmetic brand.
Okay, whatever.
I
you're
had
lucky
a
I
mind
don't
blank. Okay, well, so then that's what drove me actually to go to St. Francis to get my confirmation, leading me to meet Gretchen. And just think, if I didn't go to St. Francis, I would have never met Gretchen.
Well,
maybe
I followed the metaphysical line of thinking that Robert laid out for us, but the Gretchen
if.
Gretchen did as if I got it, Alycia, I got it. I'm glad that we've been around each other for the last 3 years now, 2.5. Seems like
2.
10.
Maybe.
You invited us on this podcast.
You did.
I said, you know what, you girls, it would be cool if you girls were on there. And then they started screaming, we're gonna be famous. And then I could not, I felt like, since Father's Day was Sunday, that on
We bought you flowers.
I know, you bought me flowers.
And made French toast.
And made French toast for 50 students in the rectory.
Exactly.
And I can't tell them no now because they would just start crying.
was
They'd be
your
like,
idea.
Like, you're the worst dad in history.
That hurt my feelings.
Okay, so fruits of the Holy Spirit. So we're going to make this connection with, how do we, in these last 5 minutes, how do we live in union with the Holy Spirit throughout the day, Robert? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I would just say, like we were saying, if we're made from relationship for relationship, the unifying relationship between the Father and the Son is the Spirit. And so insofar as we are living in the Spirit, we experience meaningful relationship. And even like when I'm in a relationship with a good friend, how can I discern or recognize of a relationship as rich and of God and of the Spirit is those fruits of the Spirit. So, a good relationship would be something that fills you with joy, patience, helps you grow in all these fruits of the Spirit. You'll be able to recognize and know, oh, wow, this is of God. It is a good relationship ordered towards a good beyond just my own needs being met. Because anything that the Spirit is about, he'll unify and bring closer to God, but then also will bring out of you Christ-like characteristics. You'll live the very divine life and become like Christ. So, I mean, good friendships led by the Spirit would exhibit those fruits and then would form you into the likeness and image of Christ. So that would be a good Christian friendship.
Robert Williams blowing minds here.
Wow. Okay, that's exactly what we want. This is a fruit of the Holy Spirit, y'all's friendship. This is the life of the Holy Spirit. Because what did they start off by saying? The sacrament of confirmation, with the giving of the 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit, the Holy Spirit being called down upon them, brought them together. So that's the Holy Spirit animating in your lives. Wow.
Fabulous.
Okay, fabulous. Girls, thanks for being here. Robert Williams, seminarian of the Diocese of Tulsa. We'll hear more about him on the next show.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Girls, we love you. We're so glad you're here. Remember to show up to Mass this Sunday and every Sunday here in Stillwater or on whatever planet you're living. Remember, at St. John Catholic Student Center, our mission is to build saints here in the city of Stillwater and around the world. And pray for Father Brian O'Brien. Peace.
Peace.